Hello everybody, welcome back to SummoNerds. I'm Evan.
And I'm Matt.
I'm Joe.
I'm Toby!
And today we've got something kind of fun. Prelate, one of our fans, sent us a package in the mail. So we're excited. We don't know what it is. He told us to open it on the air, so we're going to do that. I'm all excited to know what's in here. We've taken some silent guesses, but we're going to find out.
Hopefully nothing dangerous.
I'm guessing tube socks.
Tube socks.
Very good tube socks.
Well, we're about to find
Staged
out.
quite well. There we go. Just trying not to hurt anything inside.
Or
Tune in next week to find out what's inside.
Matt's the king of suspense.
And this way.
It takes a very large knife to open a very
It's the
small
only
box.
knife I have. It's the knife that I own.
That sounds like it could be a proverb, but it also sounds like it
Proverbs
definitely
of
isn't
Toby.
a proverb. Wow.
All right.
She's a wise woman.
Now.
It's good to be back, by the way.
Yes.
Good to have you back, Joe.
Joe's back visiting, so we're filming some stuff and then opening package. Oh my goodness.
That's good.
He's always like this. He's always been a little slow.
There we go. All
I
right.
feel like I should defend that, but
But you won't.
I'm not.
Just gonna let that
Darn
in.
right, Joe.
Nice.
You
Oh
picked
my
your
goodness.
side.
Packing peanuts!
All right.
Oh!
How did you know?
I like mine with salt.
Oh.
Faction.
Oh, that's big.
We got a full set of faction dice. That's
Yes.
awesome.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
That's super cool. We're definitely gonna
Yeah.
use these in all of our videos
the
from
green
now
and
on.
yellow.
Yeah.
Really
Oh
cool.
my gosh, for
These
sure.
are super. I've always wanted these too, which is hilarious. I've
Yeah.
just I've never decided to put the money down on them, but I've always wanted them, and just like more interesting dice in general.
Ooh, I hope there's enough dice for
Oh my
dice for
goodness.
Raoul's Super
Show, look at
Bowl.
these filth dice.
Oh, wow.
These cloaks,
When
man.
you're
Oh,
smelling
that cloak's
them, you have to
outfitting.
smell them to make sure
I gotta
that
get
they're
ready.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Real
real,
filth.
alright. That's
The filth,
Man, these
the
are-
real heroes of Satara.
I got my Vanguards.
You're just misunderstood.
Oh my goodness, this is super
We just
cool.
want a hug.
Well, thank you very much to Prelate. That was
Oh, yeah,
super
absolutely.
nice.
That was awesome.
And you guys get to enjoy watching faction dice get rolled for forever now, so
Yep.
that's super fun. Yeah, alright, well, we've got a game for you today, so we're going to move on to filming that. I guess I'm probably going to switch it here, and then you'll just see us poof into the game.
Well said, Matt.
Thank you. Alright, welcome back to SummoNerds. I'm Evan.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm Joe.
And you probably just heard us say that a second ago because we showed you our gift thing. By the way, we missed there was a card in that box that said, let all your dice rolls be faction dice. And we just thought we'd mention that because we didn't mention that before we missed it. We were too excited
Right.
about the dice
Yeah,
and
it
didn't
was
keep
awesome.
digging in the
So yeah,
box.
we just want to thank you again. Prelate does a great gift. We're all very,
Very
excited
generous.
about faction
Oh my
dice.
goodness, yes. Yeah, we're really happy about those. We're going to play a bunch of games
I'm
with those.
excited to roll cloak faction dice and beat everybody. No, but actually,
All right,
in this
calm
game,
down.
but actually in this game, Joe is playing as Jexik and
Yeah.
Evan is playing as Selundar.
Yep. I'm not really that comfortable with Jexik. Matt has always been the one that tries him out on the channel, so I decided to give him a whirl.
Yeah.
And it was very fun, I have to say.
Yeah, Evan and Joe typically don't
Yeah.
use Jexik almost ever, so it was fun for me to watch Jexik be used by someone else.
Yeah, I typically don't play Selundar. I mean, I have played him many times on like the app and stuff, I guess, but like I just don't typically play the Shadow Elves because they don't have as many deck building options yet. Very soon, we hope they will. So I just haven't been as interested in them, but I wanted to give them a try because we just hadn't tried them in a really long time. So yeah, typical game kind of start here. I went first, got Joe's assassin, got my own swordsman, missed my ranger.
Yep.
Yeah, which is good for me.
It's typically as Jexik, I always want to go first. It seems like he's just always in position to hit something and keep something safe, like that assassin. I don't like to just. It's usually going to be killed if it's not going first. So
He starts off with some beefy units on the board.
Yeah, though the problem is with the Bruisers in particular against the Shadow Elves is that all the commons are 1 health, so it's not like you can really take advantage of them. All right,
true.
so come out of the gate with a clever
Yeah.
diversion.
concealed
Concealed weapons.
one of my favorite events. Assassin,
A vanish.
Renegade.
And a renegade. So
Alright.
I can't really do anything with those now. So my goal now is just to get as many magic as I possibly can.
Yep, to get in position. Now the vanish is a great event. Can be comboed with several things, but At the same time, if it's not immediately useful, I like to, as Jexik, discard a Vanish, just to get it out of knowing I have another one later. I feel like I only need to play one. I don't know what your thoughts on that.
Oh, yeah. So I made a mistake here because I haven't played Jexik in a very long time. I played a clever diversion because I thought if you just touch a wall, you can go on any side of the wall.
Yeah, you could like warp to the same wall that you just touched.
Yeah, luckily Matt was thereby.
Well, you can't do that.
That was an
I always
excellent.
play Jexik.
Man, you have a great Evan impression. It's uncanny, actually. It's really uncanny.
Thank you.
So Joe's trying to figure out where he's going to get his units, and yeah, I'm preparing to lose a couple things here, maybe.
Yeah, so I just move up with the Renegade just to get a kill, and I'm positioning my the Renegade on the wall just so I can prevent him from being attacked from two sides, more so. And also I get the Bruiser amped up so he can kill whatever comes in his way. So my positioning here, I think I'm doing really well, but then I forgot about a few Shadow Elf events.
Yes. Well, so what I was forgetting some things too, because this whole time I'm like looking at that Bruiser and I'm thinking like, all right, if I can stall long enough to get into darkness, then like the Bruiser's mine. But of course you can't do that to a Bruiser.
Good Gargos.
Gargos,
Hydrake,
Hydrake,
Stalker, and Wall.
You
So
say
I
that
got,
joke.
I've got some small champ clog this turn, but that's okay because they're both good champs and the other three cards are not clogged. They're very usable.
Unfortunately, they're both kind of expensive.
But that's what they're super expensive, and that's why they're kind of cloggy. I either can choose one and discard the other, or I'm trying to kind of play 3-champ game because I liked the champs I picked. But
Right. And it's actually not a bad... I mean, the Shadow Elves are really great with the magic economy because of Shadows it's not a trivial event. It robs your opponent of a magic and gives you a magic right back. So whenever I see Evan with 7 magic, I'm like, oh, he's got a Shadow and maybe the Hydrake. So I get paranoid really easily.
So here I'm kind of thinking maybe I can take out this Renegade, and also maybe I was trying to figure out where Selundar could go so that he might be useful the next turn, and I figured out where I put him here. If Joe moves up to attack either of those commons, then Selundar
just
can
whacks me in the face.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if Joe uses like superior strategist or master strategist on the Bruiser to get him up there close to that Swordsman, then Selundar will punish him for it.
He's called Brilliant Strategy.
Brilliant. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I knew it was wrong too. I could like half read it on the screen. I thought like, what is that word? It's not master, but I'll say it.
Yeah, some people need to read up on reading.
Do you play this game? Oh.
By the way, thank you for inviting me into your home.
Yes.
You've been an excellent hostess.
Joe's visiting for a while. It's excited.
Yes.
So.
Oh, Matt dropped something on the table, I think.
Yeah, it's just being clumsy mode.
I think Matt was actually eating pizza and just watching like a doofus. In fact, if you look at the very top of the screen, you can see Matt's crotch. Yeah.
You sort of can.
Yeah. It's a glass table, so that's fortunate.
See all of our legs probably at some point in this game.
Well, I'm very...
Thief. All right.
Yeah.
So
This
is
is
scary.
Yeah, I was... This is the move where I was like, oh, well, that's not a problem. Did I just do...
Concealed weapons.
Oh, yeah, I did this
So
just to use some
concealed
magic
weapons.
really quickly.
Unless Shadows, but nope.
There's a reasonable time to use concealed weapons. Just, I mean, any chance you have, like, to do that and
Yeah.
get a kill from it.
Again, like concealed weapons, I typically won't build one of those, but I will use it sort of like that, where I just get a quick hit on something to open up a space. Whereas the second one, I might be a little more conservative with and wait to maybe wound a champion a bit more if possible. Or open up just a great opportunity in the end game. It's typically how I view concealed weapons.
Honestly, concealed weapons kind of functions exactly the same way as Revenge will in Satara's deck. It's basically like Shadows, except you just kill whatever you want. Usually you use it on commons or probably... Oh, that's how I would assume it. And most commons are probably less than 3 health.
No, that's true in a way. Although Jexik, I feel like concealed weapons likes to surround something and maintain a position, whereas Revenge is kind of like a deterrent more so.
Right.
I guess concealed weapons, if they're thinking about it, is also a deterrent in a way. They're like, I don't want to move next to 3 spaces where units can be summoned. Yeah.
And I can't remember what happens next.
So I really like this from Joe right here. That Thief can just waltz in there on his own. It's so interesting how Thieves function in Jexik's deck, because most decks, Thieves can't just be summoned, it seems like, and wander around for a bit. But Jexik can actually threaten with Thieves with other units out, because if he forces a target on the thief, then they're ignoring everything else that's around them.
Mm-hmm.
And if they attack everything else, then the thief can just run in and steal something. So it's...
Yeah, Jexik. I think Thieves are more dangerous in Jexik's deck than they are in Vlox's.
And
I mean, because of his ability in particular, but...
So I remember playing a match against Matt where I was Sam Farthen, and he was... he made it so that his thief would, no matter what, be able to get to the end of my board. So what I just did was just tossed my entire hand into
Your whole
magic,
hand into magic.
and just smiled at him, just like, your turn.
Yep, that is a decent... if you're like...
If you don't need anything in your
If
hand...
you don't need... Yeah,
Luckily enough, it was just all of my champions and abolishes. So, the trivial stuff. So I lost. Yeah, it was sad. It was sad.
I thought it was good, but anyway,
that's just
yes.
because
So
Matt
interesting.
is actually a really bad person.
Joe forgot the Into Darkness.
No,
I forgot
Into
not to Bruisers. So I'm like,
so we
I
were both
guess-
stupid.
This was an
Right.
example. This was another example of Evan trying to cheat, but Joe quickly turned his head back around and noticed that the Bruiser
Yeah.
was being taken.
So I had said something about I was just reading the text on the card, and then I was continuing your dumb scenario, and then you left me out to dry.
Sorry, I didn't know what you were doing.
see how it is.
I didn't know you were probably cheating again, and I didn't know.
Friends like these. All right, so Selundar is going to whoop up on this Renegade real fast, and then hopefully my Swordsman and the Ranger will be able to take the Bruiser. Technically, I do have odds to kill both this turn, even considering that killing both of them is like less likely than killing one of them.
Wait, do you really have odds killing the Bruiser?
Yeah, because I have... Oh, no, you're right. No, I don't know what I was saying. No, I thought I had 4 on the Bruiser for whatever reason just now. No, I don't have odds to kill both. I definitely have odds to kill only the Renegade. But the Bruiser might go down, and that would be nice.
Right.
And
So down goes the Renegade.
So that was not unexpected.
Yeah, now the Bruiser, we'll see if I get
Yeah,
it.
so this was a quick switcheroony from Selundar, turning what looked like a terrible position into a fine one, especially now that went 2 for 2. We just need this to connect, and wow.
Yeah,
Down
so
goes the
now
Bruiser.
I'm annoyed.
So that did work,
My
yeah.
great positioning turned into a very
very terrible.
very
Yeah.
barren side of my field.
Yeah, I destroyed 4 of his comments, which is a really huge flip. And I didn't summon anything that turn either to do that. I just played an event.
And if I looked at your hand correctly, you have shadows, so you're not even... You are just denying me any access to easy magic.
Yep.
So you're just forcing me to build. Luckily, it looks like I have a pretty healthy hand. All right,
Yeah.
so
Magic pool,
pile.
yeah.
Spider,
So I have
my
Spider.
favorite champion.
Right in there, yep.
Yeah, and I have. I think I might toss the Bruiser. I don't remember.
Bruisers are just a great unit, but I mean they are situational. They're not great all the time.
The only reason I would ever play it in this matchup is just because they're tanky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nice to give Jexik some beef.
Yeah, well, it's also. I mean, it's nice to. I mean, the two attack thing is good because you can rely on them almost 100% of the time to kill a 1 health unit, whereas like with a assassin attacking a ranger, if it's imperative the ranger dies, the assassin doesn't have like the surefire win there.
All right. So I know what I'm doing here. So I'm a little peeved at that last turn. So I decided that I would just try to get Selundar wounded a little bit.
Yep, this is a solid play.
Yeah, I was a little worried that you might play another Into Darkness. Just me wasting. Actually, what would essentially be like 3 magic, 4 magic.
Yeah, that's true. But at least you wouldn't have to worry about Into Darkness anymore after that.
Yeah, and
That's
these are not the most expensive of your comments for me to be taking or anything.
And I always viewed Jex as like being just like a really, based on a brilliant strategist. That's what it's really called, folks. This loser doesn't know anything.
Thank you, Joe.
I think I move him back because I'm just like, well, he could probably do something weird, or maybe I just leave him there like a dope. Oh, I guess I'm a
Well,
dope.
if you moved him up, then I guess he's within range of Zacerbane or something, but
True.
nothing crazy, nothing.
Shadows goes down, and I'm just like, okay, well, that's annoying.
Yeah.
But of course, that's definitely going to happen 3 times in a game, I feel.
Yep, with Selundar.
There's no way around it.
Yeah.
There's like no reason to discard those with Selundar.
Yeah.
And then I go 0 for 2,
Yeah,
and I'm like, all right, that's not great,
No.
but luckily assassins are really cheap.
Now, any roll on a summoner where you just don't hit the dice is like It's just, it's not the the best situation. But especially in an assassination deck where those roles matter
Yeah.
a lot.
Ooh, I like the Shaman.
Yeah, no, the Shaman's cool. I didn't get to use him this turn, obviously, because Joe's surprised by it. But I did get some cool deck building in with this. I thought that I was actually playing kind of a assassination deck myself, effectively. Not quite as tanky as, well, tanky's not the correct word, but I wasn't quite playing as swarm-y, I guess, as Selundar can typically play. I was trying to play more for an assassination style with some powerful champs.
So this is exactly what I want to see. Selundar moving back. He's not in the fray. Because at this point, I don't think I can really do much damage on him. Although I don't know how much magic I have, which I should have. I guess I should have showed a bit more clearly. And then you go, and then you kill all my comments again.
Yeah. Though, to be fair, Selundar moving back is... I don't know if I'd like it as much, just because how are we supposed to get to him at this point? How are we supposed to get to him and assassinate him is the question.
Also, for the record, that was the turn I meant I was supposed to kill both. I remember I was editing this earlier today, and that was the one I was thinking of, and I mistook.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because I am supposed to kill both of them in that scenario. I think I have a 63% chance of doing it.
I'm a little worried.
Like that.
Well, so you spent 2 magic, and you got 2 magic back, so that's pretty good. Yeah, you killed both my commons. Okay, so I have a wall that's important. Daring plan.
That's big.
One of the best, one of my favorite events.
I'm
events.
showing it a little too long, but
You're all excited about it.
I decided to. Yeah, I'm displaying
thief.
my cards very well.
Nope.
I like Spider and my
Back
wall
to the
again.
wall.
So I don't really have much to do. So I think I might just be positioning myself this turn. Although I probably do play the wall a bit more. I think I have a way of playing it to be pretty defensive and offensive. So I get the Bruiser just because of the tankiness, and then I play the wall there.
Get that beef out there.
A nice forward wall, but still does where Jexik is. You are still sort of walling him off, also.
Right, but I've chose you this turn, so I can try to kill the Swordsman with Jexik, kill the other guy, and then move the Bruiser to block off that summoning spot. So the only thing that you could potentially hit me with would be another Swordsman, but that would just be another magic for me. And at this point, I can just deal with it. So there's another Shadows, which is annoying as always, but I will.
Yeah, to be expected.
And I think I
So it
killed him.
looks as though that Ranger was a vegetarian. It didn't like all that beef up in its face.
Well spoken. You're like a
Thank you.
poet.
Oh, thank you.
Alright, so there we go. There was the move I was talking about, yeah. And I have the other wall there just in case of a second Swordsman. So I could only really be attacked from one angle.
Yep. So now this is actually a pretty good position once again for the Cloaks. Interesting
All right.
how this is with these low health units, how these switcheroonies occur.
Alright, so Evan does something pretty risky up ahead, but could have potentially had really good...
But yeah, see, this is the problem. I don't have any of my good events, like Summon the Night or Stalking Advance, and I don't have anything that can swing around. I don't have a Swordsman that can swing around up to Jexik. I wish I did. That'd be nice. I don't have any way to get Selundar up to be able to attack the Bruiser. Wherever I move Selundar, he's in range of that Bruiser, I'm pretty sure, with Jexik's ability next turn. Brilliant strategist, for those who are not aware. So there's nowhere I can move Selundar to keep him safe or to let his ability be useful next turn. I have to make a forward play, I think, here, or block Selundar from somehow all sides at once. But I can't do the second thing, so it has to be the first thing.
So you spent six magic for him, and then I believe you spent another magic so you can use his
ability.
We've talked about that as well. Often is how I view Gargos as more of a 7-cost champion because you kind of want to use his ability
immediately.
Yeah, almost always you want to use that on that first turn. There's very few times where you don't. And if the cards had been slightly differently placed, this would be a much better Gargos turn, but it's not. So
perhaps wow, if there was a Stalking Advance and a Summon the Night,
that would be huge. That would be enormous, but I don't have that. So what we have right now is, again, my events actually came pretty late. Those good events came late. But what we have right now is Gargos. He's going to try to take a shot on this Bruiser. Selundar, I'm kind of thinking like wherever Selundar goes, he's going to maybe face some problems. But if I move Selundar kind of downfield here towards the camera, then perhaps he can sneak up that side and deal with. He won't get surrounded as easily, and he can deal with these things head on, and maybe surround some of some of Joe's units, since Gargos is running up the right. So we got Selundar on the left, Gargos on the right. That was my thinking.
And I was actually pretty happy with this, because I do still have my daring plan in my hand.
Yes, which I did not know, because this is pretty early in the game, relatively speaking, so I was not, expecting a daring plan. I knew it was possible, of course, but I wasn't thinking it was likely.
Yeah,
Right.
always.
And then you do a horrible 3
miss. Yeah,
which
so
I believe was karma because you killed my other bruiser just
true.
straight out. So this was I earned that.
Well, I don't think those are equivalent.
The odds
chances,
are not
but,
quite equivalent.
But I understand what you're meaning.
There has to be balance to the force. The odds. Whatever.
So Gargos, my idea here is Gargos is in position. Jexik can't easily get away from this. He can't easily get units out to save him from where Gargos is. He could potentially summon a unit and use his Bruiser and this other unit to block Gargos for another turn, but he's going to be summoning, wasting a bunch of magic to save Jexik, and he's going to be significantly on the defensive. He's going to have to use all 3 of his movements on that maneuver to get Jexik safe. It'll give me time to move up more. So it was just kind of like where Gargos was, I was pretty happy until Daring Plan came down.
Right, so this positioning here, I'm able to get 3 sides on Gargos. I will able to... so the zero cost thief is just pretty much just economically.
this is
And
where
that's
that-
and that was what I was just about to say. Not only are thieves just great with their ability in this deck, but even
9
combined
die.
with
I was very happy.
combined with daring plan, the thief
Right.
goes from a zero cost unit to a zero cost unit with 3 attack. That's just big.
So I almost made a really big mistake, which was that.
Attacking with the Bruiser first.
Yeah,
Where
so
you're
Evan didn't
100%
say
likely.
anything. Evan didn't say anything because that was what he had. And this was the better move.
Yes.
Attacking
Yeah.
with the first matters.
Oh, I
Because-
guess technically attacking with Jexik first would be the best one.
Well, Jexik, the thief was going to go down no matter what, right?
Yeah, because you cannot
Jexik
get
can't-
6 attacks.
Yeah, I can.
Not with Jexik and the Thief, because
No,
Jexik
no, no.
doesn't earn any.
Oh, you're correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So luckily I hit every die. So I don't feel at all nervous about the Bruiser, although
Yeah.
I might I might have been good. So,
Okay, so-
alright. I only missed 1 dice, so.
So that was nice for Joe, got out of that. If I'd had Summon the Night again, that would have been like a very different position, but I just didn't have that yet. I didn't
There's
draw
me grabbing the thief. I wanted to get involved.
You did great.
Thank
you did
you.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
He held his own. All right. So now I'm feeling great. Evan still has
Oh, I have
Hydrake,
Hydrake.
Satara.
Stalker.
Why did you pack Stalkers in this deck?
Swordsman. They're basically just swordsmen with their stats reversed, and they can, in situationally, be better. So,
Yeah, I would prefer them with the. I do like that they have an extra health, and if you really need them to be oomphed, you can do it. It's almost like a temporary boost.
they can basically be they're slightly tankier units that can be situationally better than the swordsman because they can have that extra health. I don't know. I liked having a couple of them and a couple swordsmen. It gave me some options, but they didn't end up being incredibly. I mean, none of my commons this game were like stand out to me as the unit. I was also thinking potentially some play involving Shaman and Stalkers or Swordsman would be kind of key. But
So I'm like thinking I need to make Jexik as safe as I possibly can because I'm afraid of like a Melik.
Melik stalking plus summon the night.
Right.
It's a
Which is a
common one we see on the app for sure.
Exactly. Same thing
I'm
with
gonna do
Satara,
that.
which Evan does have in his hand.
Yep.
And that can even be better just because of the fact that
Satara, just stomping on stuff. And
exactly, and go in any direction as opposed to just one straight line.
Yep.
So that's always a scary thought.
yeah, Satara is effectively like Zacerbane with lower attack, but can move through things, and she doesn't restrict all your other
Man, I just
units
love,
from moving.
Yeah, I just love all those Alliance Jungle Shadow
Yeah,
champions. Actually, they're
I
all
really-
pretty good.
Yeah, gosh, Satara is amazing. I mean, obviously, I love Gargos and I love the child, but I mean, Satara is just really exciting to use because she can move over anything, and her ability affects summoners.
Oh man,
she can do wounds to
both her
summoners.
and Gargos are beast in Nikuya.
There's Big Vanish.
Yep.
So I have Vanish. I think I toss it because I still don't get it yet.
Well, Tinkerer.
I had one Tinkerer in my
Tinkerers
deck.
are cool. Yeah.
Just in actually, literally, just in case the Hydrake came out.
It's
and
good.
So I was like, yeah, you thought you had
Concealed
me?
Weapon Spider. Yeah, actually, Tinkerer might even be superior on Satara. Because Satara basically is her ability. With that, she could only move 2 spaces and have 1 attack.
Right.
She'd be crummy sauce.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Joe, for instance, obviously you wouldn't want to do this in this situation, probably. But like, what Vanish? Like, you can do something like move things right up in front of Selundar like this turn, and then attack. Like you move. Then you vanish them over there. Then you have like 2 attacks on Selundar. Wouldn't have necessarily been the right move in this case.
You always like the idea. You like the Daring Plan Vanish combo.
Daring Plan Vanish.
And you've been able to pull it off a few times. Right.
Really effectively, yeah.
So right now I'm freaking out about a potential sneak attack.
Yeah.
So that's why I put my walls sort of like a little fortress for Jexik.
Yeah, and that was excellent. That wall off with Jexik was big because this is still, I mean, like I bet Joe's, I don't know, 2/3, 1/2 to 2/3 the way through his deck. So at this point, I'd actually say that we were talking about this. Though I've lost a champion, he has also lost his best event. I think that the magic economy is relatively even at this point. Selundar is a superior endgame summoner to Jexik, but just by themselves. But Jexik's ability is great in the end game.
Right.
So this is a really interesting and possibly very even scenario, except Joe's positioning with his walls is way better than mine. So,
well, I think you tossed one of your walls just because you were afraid of the
clever diversion.
Clever diversion,
just acting as a deterrent again.
Right. So now you're kind of put in a position where you have to be very clever with your walls, and I think you did take that into consideration. Oh, if you look on the top of my draw pile right now, I have one Sand Cloak. I packed Barston in this deck, and I only packed Barston and 1 Tinker, so I knew exactly what was coming up.
Yep.
So I was getting a little excited myself.
That's something we've talked about as well. Is like
oh, sorry. You just saw his hand. Summon Knight and Stalking Advance. So
so now the 2 cards come in.
And I do have enough magic for magic for Satara, so that's good to know. I believe I do anyway this turn. I think this is the turn I summon her, actually.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Pretty sure I had Satara this turn.
People are watching.
So yeah, you were saying that. I apologize.
Oh no, I was saying we've talked about sleeves versus non-sleeves and how they affect the game differently. Because Joe can assume that Barston is coming up based on how many Sand Cloaks he packed in his deck. Mm-hmm. If it was sleeves, he would have no idea and like looking at hands and things too. So it's just interesting how the game slightly changes based on those.
So I'm going to go for that Bruiser twice with Satara. I don't hit it with her ability, but it's okay because I still can kill it outright if I hit 3 out of 3. So it's like 5. It ends up being like 5 to hit 3, which is pretty likely. And then Selundar does get his 2, and Satara does not. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get the Bruiser, which is a bummer because it does put Selundar in a worse position.
Right, and I'm really excited now because I know Barston's coming up, and if you have any opinions on sleeves, leave them in the comments.
Yeah.
And they probably will read them because I actually don't have access to the actual YouTube.
It's interesting. I don't give you
that password. I forgot
my personal opinion on them. I'm not even sure. I actually really enjoy what seeing the cards offers. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and it allows you to prepare a little bit beforehand. Mm-hmm. I would like just seeing the top card though.
There's some trickery we've employed in while playing. We're like, how much magic do you have? And we like to see them shuffling the magic around so we can see what factions are in the magic pile.
To be fair, it is.
You do the same thing with how many cards are in your hand, and then when they count the cards because they're not sure, we see the backs of the cards and we know what they have, like in terms of factions anyway, know what options are available.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, we haven't been to any tournament scenes yet. But being on Vassal, it makes it a bit more straightforward.
Yeah, it's true. In Vassal, you can just see the card backs all you want. And
card backs.
Right. So I'm really excited. I'm able to get This is actually the turn I made a mistake. If you saw my hand, I had a Heist, and I have a really wounded Bruiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this would
And
be the thing to do.
I did something really stupid. I did not put it on the Bruiser.
Bruiser.
And Matt pointed this out to me after the game. I don't know why I didn't think of that, because I knew that that Barston was going to attack Selundar and
Yeah.
move the Bruiser to the back
Yeah,
wall.
so-
And I actually had good things in my hands. So
I
that
know.
would've been big.
I could have gotten one of your champions. I could have gotten a...
Stalking Advance
Stalking
or a
Advance
Summon the Night, maybe. I don't remember what I dropped into Magic this turn, so
Yep.
it would have been
Oh.
one of those three,
And
probably.
this is something I wanted to say earlier too. When combined with Thieves, which in Jexik's deck often can just waltz into the back row on their own.
Yep.
Say you get a heisted Renegade or something as well. I'm using Renegade because it's one of the easier things to heist. Jexik has one of the best double steal potentials. That's what I like to refer to it as, is the double steal, which is like can be brutal to the hand.
Yep.
Taking 2 cards in the same turn.
Well, and Barston being in there, I mean, it could
Yep.
even be a triple steal. You
Yep.
could even get a triple steal turn if you
Yep.
try hard enough. Barston is just great for the Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
He can make a one-turn thief real easily.
Yeah. Now, I don't like to discard Heist, but I definitely will if it's not immediately useful, because it can contribute to the hand clog.
Right.
So here where we are, I see 2 big options for me, because Selundar's quite weak, Jexik isn't. We both got a champ out. I do have some good events, though. I could run away with Selundar and pull Satara back. I believe I have enough magic for the Hydrake right now, because I just bought Satara. But I can either rush forward with Satara and try to race for the finish, or I can, because I know my other Summon the Night is coming up soon, and the Stalking Advance will
Right,
have to
yeah.
also, since none of them have come up so far. But, or I can run Satara back and try to defend Selundar with her, and then we can just play a long game. But I was a little worried about that because Selundar is so weak. He has so many options to get up in my face quickly with Brilliant Strategist.
I just love how you keep repeating it.
It's-
I can't not think about it. I'm sorry.
And then I was just thinking, like, if it comes down to a long game, I've probably lost.
All right, so you just did a Stalking Advance just so you can prevent
Stalking
me
Advance and a Summon of the Night.
Right.
So this way, if I kill the Bruiser, and I played around with that wall placement for a while, I almost put it adjacent to the other wall. I realized that either way, if he has Clever Diversion, he can get a unit immediately next to Selundar, because I couldn't move Selundar. If I moved Selundar to the left, which is kind of closer to the screen, closer to the viewer, then I had less time to run away because there's less board on that side of the board, kind of, if that makes sense. And the other way gives me a little bit more time. I have to be able to kill the Bruiser, or I'm not going to be safe from Barston the Bruiser. And so the way I moved, I was just trying to get myself in the safest position possible, recognizing that Clever Diversion was possible. But yeah, I don't know. I was trying to block that summon point was an idea as well.
Right.
And
I think you also your positioning of Satara is actually really good right now, because you were debating between that and the spot right in front of Jexik. But the way you have it, I can only attack Satara from one side.
And
The
that
spot
she can't be
right-
concealed weapons as hard.
The spot right in front of Jexik is brutal as far as concealed weapons is concerned.
Exactly.
Yep.
So I am looking at this and just really, really hoping I draw my last Clever Diversion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he has his summoner position in a way where I can
Big spider.
definitely take advantage of it. I have
Violet,
Violet, so that's
Spider,
very convenient. I have an Assassin, definitely
is
keep it on there.
big, Renegade,
Always good.
and Clever Diversion.
Clever Diversion.
Which
Which wasn't all luck, because I was almost. If you look at
Yeah,
my
of course,
deck,
you don't
I
have
have
that
like
much
one
left.
card left. So
Well,
1 or 2. Yes.
Yeah, we both only had about 3 or 4 cards left there in this end game. And then the nice thing for Joe is that he's got 2 commons as well. I wasn't thinking about the likelihood of a Clever Diversion with 2 commons and the ability to pay for both of them. Like, that seemed a little less likely. And I was thinking about this earlier, that the choice was between a long game I was likely to lose, or if everything goes to the odds, I'm likely to lose the long game, or I could take a risk in the short game that I'm going to be able to, that Joe won't have the cards he needs, or that he'll miss the dice he needs, or whatever, and then that gives me better odds in a short game if he misses.
Oh, I forgot to summon the Renegade.
Yes, you're gonna fix that.
Yeah, I think I'll fix
No,
that.
so-
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
no,
it is.
and especially you have another Summon the Night, right?
I do. That's what I mean.
so-
Yeah, because and it has to be in my next hand actually, because the way I dropped cards last turn, I've got to get
Right.
it and the Stalking Advance.
And also, if there were any hunters in this deck, being able to summon
were.
off Satara.
There were.
Yeah.
I didn't get them when I needed them, but they were. I mean, I think there's a couple in the bottom of my deck here.
You know, I actually wasn't considering hunters coming out, so
'Cause
that
I
would have
could-
been really annoying.
Yeah, I think I had one or two in the end, so it just depended on what order the cards came up. But my thought was if I survived this turn in particular, I think I was in a good position to have odds for the game.
One little thing I like about this is that I went from my first turn
This is
not
huge.
knowing exactly how Clever Diversion worked to using it in a kind of tooting my own horn a little bit,
Yeah, no,
which
this
I
is
think was
great.
kind of a cool move because if you read Clever Diversion, it says whenever a unit moves adjacent to a wall. It doesn't say during the movement phase.
Yeah.
So I used Barston just to show you guys.
Yeah, so Joe realized he could have just put it next to the wall and moved 0 spaces with it. He could have summoned it next to the wall and
Yep.
moved 0 spaces and then moved it across. However, he wanted to kind of illustrate that Barston could be used.
Yeah,
which
and I
is
like
something
being
hadn't
very
considered.
very arrogant at
This
times.
is showy and
Yeah.
So he was being a little.
Okay, so
Alright.
now it here is a final die. Let's see
One
if
die
the Renegade
to
can
rule them
do
all.
it.
And he
that
does.
was so. Yeah, that was an
Alright.
awesome finish.
So,
this was good.
Evan actually showed some really good play with Satara, showing and the fact that you were saving those 2 event cards for that great moment.
And that's all. Yeah, and that's all Selundar needs is one opening for that Summon the Night play. Very
But
easy
Joe
for
was
him to
Joe
get
was
something.
great on the counterattack.
Yeah.
I never felt like he let up, and Selundar was struggling to both save himself and provide offense.
Yeah, it was,
It was nice.
definitely a fun game to watch.
And I don't think we actually had this matchup before.
No, I
don't think so either.
So yeah, we're trying. Whenever I choose, I like to choose second just so I can look through and like, oh, what haven't we seen before?
Yeah, we do like to try to keep things fresh in that regard. So that was nice. That was a good.
Yep.
I would love
true.
to see an
Good game
Immortal Ilian versus Prince Ilian.
No.
I don't think I would.
It's like, what have I become?
Battle inside of his mind for dominance. The 2 personalities.
Pretty sure the Immortal Alien would take that one.
All right. Thanks for watching,
Thank
everybody.
you very much.
Yeah, thank you. SummoNerds out for now.
See you next time.
Adios.